Hello everyone, back to tuning in to today's second video, doing European outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the next week to 10 days across Europe, and I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first video today was 6 AM upload, got a 10 to 14 day coming up for you later on this afternoon with all of the usual features. And between now and then, there will be a bonus video, which is going to be the mid-season spring reviews. So we released the GavsWeatherVids spring 2023 forecast at the end of February. We're halfway through meteorological spring now, and so it is time to do a mid-season review, see how the forecast is going, and see how the spring so far has been. So that will be coming up at 1 PM very, very shortly. Please like, share, subscribe on videos. Thank you so much to everybody doing that. And drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And I hope you're having a lovely, lovely Thursday. Right, here we go then. European outlook. We've got high pressure dominating from Scandinavia to Iceland and Greenland. Winds are in from the east across much of northern, central and western Europe. We've got some low pressure down to the south. The upper air temperatures are actually quite cool across some western parts of Europe, particularly the Low Countries and into northern France and western Germany. That cool air is pushing in towards the UK and Ireland. There's a little upper level trough coming in with the easterly wind as well, with that cool air. Excuse me. Further north, we've got mild upper air temperatures across most parts of Scandinavia. Much of Eastern Europe looking relatively mild. The warmest upper air temperatures, though, down in the south and southwest, hot through Spain. Precipitation-wise, we look like this. So, of course, with the high pressure, lots of dry weather across most parts of northern Europe. There's those showery conditions in western Germany and into eastern France, and also the Low Countries, just pushing in towards the southeast of England by the end of this afternoon. Most of the UK and Ireland mainly dry. And then further southwards, we've got some very heavy showers and thunderstorms through parts of southern France and into southern Germany, and also extend down into Italy. Further showers over the Adriatic into the Balkans and down towards Greece, which is northeastern Europe, but looking mainly dry. Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. And then many central and western parts of the Med also looking quite dry. Could be some showers and storms over the Pyrenees, but most parts have been of the central and western part of the Med and Spain, Portugal, mainly dry today. Precipitation-wise, very warm or hot through southern parts of Spain, with temperatures into the mid, maybe upper 20s Celsius. Further northwards, though, it is quite a lot cooler, again, especially through the Low Countries and in some parts of Germany and eastern France, quite cold through there. And then over on the eastern side of Europe, actually relatively mild air extending up the east side of Europe. Northern Scandinavia, still looking quite cold, but of course nowhere near as cold as it was a week or two ago. Right, that takes us through to tomorrow. The high pressure is beginning to centre around Greenland and Iceland, so going into retrograde once again. Retrogression. And some lower pressure perhaps across some southern parts of Europe heading into the Bay of Biscay. The upper air temperatures still look quite hot, very warm and hot for much of Spain. Cool further northwards, and many central, northern, eastern parts of Europe actually looking relatively mild with those upper air temperatures. And precipitation-wise, it looks like this. So further showers over on the east side of Europe around Ukraine and towards the northern shores of the Black Sea, for example. Some showers or longer spells of rain through eastern parts of France into the Low Countries. Again, some wet weather pushing into parts of England and Wales as well. Scotland mostly dry. Most parts of Scandinavia mainly dry until a weather front brings some rain, sleet and snow into extreme north of Scandinavia. And then the bulk of the central and western part of the Med looking dry, but have got some wet weather, interestingly, moving in from the Atlantic into Portugal. So some quite heavy rain heading into Portugal tomorrow. Temperature-wise, it looks like that. So, again, hottest, warmest around Spain and into southern parts of France. Generally quite mild, though, across most parts of Europe. A little bit above average, I think, in many central and eastern regions. Cooler, perhaps, in the north and in the northwest. That's Saturday. So, lower pressure looks like it's taking over across western parts of Europe. At the same time, high pressure is reaching in from the Azores in towards Iberia, and then further eastwards there's a little area of low pressure here across the eastern part of Europe as well. Perhaps affecting Romania, for example. And upper air temperatures look like that, so generally quite warm across many southern parts of Europe and extending in towards Germany and eastwards into towards eastern parts of Europe. But colder air is starting to dig back in over North Scandinavia. You'll notice the -10 Celsius iceberg is beginning to return into northern parts of Norway, Sweden, and also on into Finland and northwestern Russia as well. Can you believe? Still looking quite cool with those upper air temperatures over UK and Ireland as well. And precipitation looks like that. So wet weather pushing eastwards through Spain, east parts of Spain, showering conditions there, and into eastern France, up into the Low Countries as well. Further showers, maybe some long spells of rain through parts of the UK, they could affect Ireland as well. Showers here over on the southeastern side of the Mediterranean, as well into the east side of the Mediterranean, I should say, in southeastern Europe, so you could some showers and thunderstorms there. Otherwise, lots of dry weather in many central and eastern northeastern regions, till we run into a band of rain, sleet and snow coming southwards through Scandinavia, and behind that, the showers will turn back to snow again across northern parts of Scandinavia. Cold air digging back in, look to the far north of Europe once again. Otherwise, relatively mild air though across most areas, especially the Low Countries, Germany, and moving into some parts of Sweden as well. The temperatures look very pleasantly mild there. Eastwards about above average temperatures too, and then warm or very warm, maybe even locally hot down across southern parts of Europe as well. That Sunday, low pressure transferring into the North Sea, then starting to pull colder air back into northern and western parts of Europe from the north and from the northeast. Warmest temperatures will probably be in southern and eastern parts of Europe. The upper air temperatures look like that. So again, cold air digging in over Scandinavia. Some colder air is returning to Scotland as well. Generally warm or hot though across southern and southwestern parts of Europe, and extending through Mediterranean and up the eastern side of Europe. Precipitation looking like that, increasingly unsettled really as we go through the weekend. Heavy showers or longer spells of rain through France. They could extend into the Low Countries and Germany, possibly into western parts of Poland as well. Austria, Hungary could also be getting some heavy showers there. Further eastwards of that, it does turn drier, but still some scattered showers around. Much of southern Europe, mainly dry. Could some showers through Italy, possibly a few rain showers through Greece, but many central western parts of Med looking mostly dry. Then of course we've got rain and snow across Scandinavia, probably increasingly turning to snow through Norway and Sweden as that colder air digs back in again. Notice those mild temperatures are beginning to fade away across Denmark and southern parts of Sweden and also southern parts of Finland. Meanwhile out west it's looking colder for Scotland, still relatively mild though further south of that through Germany, Poland, the Low Countries, down into France, and then the hottest temperatures again through central some parts of Spain, Portugal, and through the central bowl of the Med. Monday, we'll find low pressure sitting over Scandinavia, drawing down colder air from the north, with this blocking area of high pressure around Greenland. Same time, looks like lower pressure beginning to develop through some southern parts of Europe as well, maybe. The upper air temperatures look hot through Spain and Portugal, warm through most parts of southern and east Europe, but much cooler or colder across northern and western parts of Europe, especially Ireland, the UK, and up in towards Scandinavia as well. So further showers or longer spells of rain likely across the central and eastern regions, increasingly seeing showers pushing eastwards. Could some big showers and thunderstorms through the Balkans, for example. An increasing risk of snow across Scandinavia, and then more wet weather piling in towards France as well. Some of that rain could be quite heavy, with a chance of wintry showers through northern parts of Britain and Ireland. The Med looking remain dry on Monday, especially the central and western bowl of Med. Some of these showers from the Balkans could affect eastern parts of Italy, though, and around the Adriatic, and some of those showers extending down into Greece as well. Looking quite cool or cold across northern and western parts of Europe on Monday. The warmest temperatures are in the east, and especially so across southern and southwestern parts of Europe, heat building through central and southern parts of Spain. I reckon we've got temperature up to 30 degrees there, probably across central and southern Spain by Monday. Heading into Tuesday, again, this big trough of low sitting over Scandinavia, drawing in those cold northerly winds. A ridge of high pressure building through the UK, Ireland, France, and the Low Countries. should start to settle things down. And then some lower pressure across the southern and eastern parts of Europe mainly. The upper air temperatures look quite cold in the north and the west once again, especially through the UK, Ireland, in towards the Low Countries, northern Germany, Denmark, and heading northwards into Scandinavia, although there is a mix of air across Scandinavia with that area of low pressure. Eastern Europe looking mainly dry again, and look at heat continuing to build from North Africa in towards Spain and Portugal. That's how it's set up precipitation-wise for Tuesday. So rain, sleet and snow across Scandinavia, mainly snow across northern parts of Scandinavia. Heavy rain in towards the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. If that cold air gets farther east, then that rain will turn increasingly to snow. Then we've got some very wet weather as we come further south into eastern parts of Europe and back into the west as well. Some wet weather through into France and also out into the Atlantic as well, leaving much of southern southwestern Europe looking mostly dry on Tuesday. Relatively mild across eastern Europe, warm across southern Europe, hot through much of central southern Spain and Portugal, and then cold through northern and western parts of Scandinavia, particularly Norway, northern parts of Sweden in particular, and then down into the UK and Ireland and possibly the Low Countries, also looking relatively cool or cold on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll have a ridge of high pressure through western parts of Europe, still that low, sat over Scandinavia. So the upper air temperature is still looking cold across much of northern and western Europe, and most cooler upper air temperatures begin to extend further eastwards as well into some east and northeastern parts of Europe. At the same time, though, the heat is really rebuilding across southern parts of Spain. The first real push of heat from North Africa into Spain and Portugal through the middle of next week. Rain, sleet and snow across Scandinavia, and that wet weather extending further eastwards as well. Mostly dry out across Western Europe with that ridge of high pressure, though some showers are possible through France and some parts of Germany. Big showers and thunderstorms through Ukraine down into the Black Sea, and then going southwards in towards Greece and Turkey as well. And then much of central western Mediterranean being dry once more with plenty of hot sunshine. That's where the hottest temperatures are. I reckon by this point we're probably into the low to mid 30 Celsius there across southern parts of Spain, which is really hot for late April. Further northwards it is much cooler across much of northern, central and also western Europe. Actually quite cold in some parts of northern and western Europe. And that's Thursday. So that trough of low pressure over Spain, over Scandinavia, I should say, increasingly pushing eastwards at the same time, though, we're starting to bring up some warmer southerly southeasterly, perhaps up the western side of Europe, and the heat again building down to Spain and Portugal, as we see with the upper air temperature. Look how hot it is now through most parts of central eastern Spain and pushing into the central part of the bed. Same time, the coldest of the upper air temperature begin to retreat away from the UK and Ireland and head back northwards. Although much of northern, central west Europe does still look quite cool. And precipitation-wise, further rain, sleet and snow across Scandinavia and into the Baltic Sea states as well. Otherwise, some heavy showers over on the eastern side of the Mediterranean. Much of central, western, southwest Europe remains dry, but more wet weather piling in towards the UK and Ireland by day's end. And temperatures looking like that. So the heat from Spain beginning to push northwards into southern parts of France, where we're getting the temperatures around 30 degrees across the south of France. Meanwhile, though, the UK, Ireland still looking quite cool. Most of Scandinavia still looking quite cold. And eastern Europe definitely seeing these cooler temperatures pushing eastwards. I'll just run you on to day 10. So this is Friday next week. So low pressure developing in the Atlantic, beginning to push towards West Europe, starting to change the wind direction up west side Europe into more of a southerly type southeasterly. As we go through the final weekend of April, 29th, 30th of April, we find that trough of low pressure over Scandinavia getting pushed in towards the Baltic Sea states and northwestern parts of Russia. That could bring some late wintry weather there. Meanwhile, high pressure building up the western side of Europe should generally start to settle things down and also begin to warm things up. Maybe the upper air temperatures look like that. So the coolest of the upper air temperatures begin to push further northeastwards, turning milder or warmer across many western parts of Europe, and we've still got that heat across southern parts of Spain. How long will that be before that hot weather begins to start pushing northwards across Europe? We shall wait and see. Right, that's your European outlook for this week. I think that's pretty much covered everything for everyone. So if you enjoyed the forecast, and please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. As I say, we've got our mid-season spring review coming up for you very, very, very shortly. And then there'll be a 10 to 14 down later on this afternoon. You enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And for this video, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.